In 1984, the T-800 was the ultimate nightmare. A cold, unstoppable machine designed to hunt down and destroy its target. But 7 years later, James Cameron did something nobody expected. He turned cinema's most terrifying villain into its most unlikely hero. That single decision didn't just transform Terminator 2. It created a sequel that surpassed the original masterpiece. You're watching Hefty Cinema, and this is why Terminator 2: Judgment Day remains one of the rare sequels that didn't just continue its predecessor, but surpassed it. The villain becomes the hero. The biggest risk James Cameron took with Terminator 2 wasn't the expensive visual effects, it wasn't the action, it wasn't even creating a bigger future war. The biggest risk was changing everything audiences thought they knew. In the first Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the nightmare. He barely spoke, he never showed emotion. He walked through explosions, bullets, and injuries like nothing could stop him. He wasn't a person, he was a weapon, a perfect machine. And that was exactly why he was terrifying. So when Terminator 2 was announced, audiences expected more of the same. They expected Arnold to return as the unstoppable killer. But Cameron had a different plan. The marketing carefully hid one of the biggest twists in movie history. The T-800 was no longer hunting John Connor, he was protecting him. The machine that once represented humanity's destruction had become humanity's only chance of survival. Sarah Connor's transformation from survivor to warrior. But Terminator 2 isn't just the story of the T-800. It's also the story of Sarah Connor. In the original film, Sarah was an ordinary woman thrown into an impossible situation. She was scared, she was vulnerable, she was running for her life, but after everything she experienced, Sarah transformed. By the beginning of Terminator 2, she is no longer the same person. She has become a soldier preparing for a war nobody else believes is coming. She's stronger, more dangerous, and completely focused on survival. But this creates a fascinating conflict. Sarah has spent years preparing to destroy machines, then suddenly, her son trusts one. John sees the possibility of peace, Sarah sees the threat of extinction. The T-800 becomes the bridge between them. Together, they form one of the strangest families in science fiction, a mother preparing for war, a son searching for hope, and a machine learning how to care. The T-1000 and visual effects revolution. Another reason Terminator 2 remains unmatched is because the action was built around real filmmaking. In 1991, computer-generated effects were still in their early days, so James Cameron combined groundbreaking digital effects with incredible practical work. The liquid metal T-1000 was revolutionary. The visual effects team created something audiences had never seen before, a villain who could transform, melt, and rebuild itself. But the reason those effects still work today is because they were supported by real physical filmmaking, real explosions, real vehicles, real stunts, real destruction. The famous motorcycle chase wasn't created entirely inside a computer. The actors were actually involved in dangerous practical sequences. The hospital escape, the truck chase, and the final factory battle all have a physical weight that many modern blockbusters struggle to recreate. Today, audiences see incredible digital effects every year, but sometimes, when everything is computer-generated, the danger disappears. Terminator 2 feels different because you can feel the effort behind every shot. Reprogramming the audience's fear. The genius of Terminator 2 is that it forces the audience to experience the same transformation as John Connor. At the beginning, John doesn't trust the T-800, and why would he? The last time he saw this machine, it was wearing his mother's face and trying to kill him, but slowly, something changes. The T-800 begins learning, it learns human expressions, it learns humor, it learns why people cry, and most importantly, it learns what it means to protect someone. The machine doesn't become human, that's what makes it powerful, it remains a machine. But it chooses to act with humanity. The movie creates an emotional connection with a character that, by design, should have no emotions at all, and that is the genius of the story. The biggest challenge after Terminator 2 wasn't making another Terminator movie, it was following a movie that had already completed its story. Terminator 2 ended with hope. The future was no longer guaranteed, the characters had changed, the machine had sacrificed itself, it was a complete journey. Later sequels tried to expand the mythology, introduce new timelines, and bring back familiar ideas, but none captured the same magic, because Terminator 2 wasn't great because of the machines, it was great because of the humans. Why no Terminator sequel could repeat the magic? Many action movies can create explosions, many science fiction movies can create futuristic ideas, but very few can combine spectacle with emotion. Terminator 2 works because every action scene matters. The chase scenes aren't just there for excitement. They develop relationships, every battle changes the characters, every fight pushes the story forward. The T-800 protecting John isn't just a cool action concept, it's the emotional heart of the entire movie. A machine created to destroy humanity becomes the thing that proves humanity is worth protecting. Terminator 2 didn't simply make a bigger sequel, it completely changed what a sequel could be. It took the villain from the original movie and transformed him into one of cinema's greatest heroes. It combined groundbreaking technology with unforgettable characters, and more than 30 years later, it remains proof that the best science fiction isn't really about the future, it's about what it means to be human. What do you think? Is Terminator 2 the greatest sequel ever made? Let me know in the comments. This is Hefty Cinema, and if you enjoyed this video and want more like this, hit the like and subscribe button to support us make more videos. And if you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for stopping by.